Hello, my darlings. This is Judy, Grandma Judy. I've got so many emails, and people have been asking me so much about what I think about what the president's going to say tonight, what I think about Chris in California. So I remember I always talk off the top of my head. Number one, I'm going to talk about what I think about the president and what he will say tonight. I know if I was president, the number one problem I would say America has is violence. That we really have to make the streets safe for our children, for our seniors, for everybody. You should be able to play your Walkman. Not Walkman, I got to catch up. And you know Grandma got all the latest toys. You should be able to play your Apple without having people put a gun on you or 20 guys surround you to take your things away and shoot you, even if you give them the guns. If you give them your computer or whatever they're trying to take from you, your gym shoes. I would tell the president, number two, is how you take care of this. Your American citizenship is worth a lot of money. If we have to go through Congress, I would suggest that we take away the American citizenship from people. I'm talking about natural American citizens, people that are born here. Do you guys know that they have birthing rooms here in the United States? What it is women in the last stages of their pregnancies are camouflaging the pregnancy and coming to homes in the United States, giving birth, and being issued United States license, birth certificates for the newborn. Then they get back on the plane and go back to wherever they came from in the world. And they feel that this has really ensured my child a citizenship in the United States because the child was born here. I hope you guys know that that's going on. And these people will be competing, these babies. They will be competing with your babies for jobs and everything. Another thing I'd like to say is I would tell the president that he must give Americans jobs first. I know people are going into prison, and that's the highest people that are giving you jobs now. Guys, do you know prisons are privately owned now? And they want to fill them up? And the guys in prison can earn about 6 cents an hour? This is slavery, guys. This is kidnapping. You put your own self back into slavery. Now, I know someone's going to call and say, oh, they make more than 6 cents an hour. I don't know what they make an hour, but I know it's keeping you out of a job. Do you know these prisoners are also doing telemarketing? This means that it may be a convicted convict that's calling your house. This is wrong. Another thing, you have to make the city streets safe. We just had another 16-year-old that was shot on the street, and he ran into a Walgreens drugstore and collapsed. Now, these people that they got saying that they were the ones who allegedly killed Hadia Pendleton, I know Chicago police. They have paid out probably billions of dollars on falsely accusing people, beating people into confessions. And I want to give this message out to the Chicago police. You are killing the Pendleton family if you're picking the wrong guys to put up. because we had 511 murders last year. And I don't know how many murders that ever were solved. But all of a sudden, this one gets solved in 2 weeks. You put out a $40,000 reward, but you say you don't have to pay anybody because this was good police work. No, I think you got help from the public, but you just don't want to pay the person the $40,000. And the person that turned them in, the $40,000 would make you just have to get out of Chicago because you wouldn't be safe living there. And then again, maybe they are going to pay someone $40,000 who did help them. If these guys are the ones, the 18 and 20-year-old that killed them, then maybe they will be paid the money. Our young people need jobs, Mr. President. They need jobs. They need jobs. Jobs. Number 1 is safety in the street. Number 2 is jobs. The way you can have safety in the street is deport the criminals. Don't send them to jail. I know you're making a lot of money sending them to jail so they can be jail employees for 6 cents an hour. We know this. Don't do that. Stop it. Another thing I would tell the people in the neighborhood, the police can't be everywhere. We had a guy, a sheriff in Milwaukee, who made the statement, and they got on his case. He told the people, please get guns, learn how to use them, keep them safe. But if someone's breaking in your house or someone try to stick you up on the street or anything like that, you can take them out. And I'm going to tell you, I told you my grandmother was something else. My grandma said, don't wound them, kill them. Because if you wound them, they're going to come back after you. So safety on the Chicago streets, that's going to be the responsibility of Chicagoans. And Chicago, I know you can do it. You know they watch everything you say on these YouTube, so only a fool will understand where I'm coming from. Take out the garbage, Chicago. Take out the garbage. Make the garbage so afraid of you that they don't even want to come out the house. Take out the garbage, Chicago. Take out the garbage. Mr. President, instead of sending these people to jail that are shooting up our streets, why don't you send them forever to the hot spots around the world? Send them to Afghanistan. Send them to Somalia. Send them to Ethiopia. Send them to Syria. Send them to Egypt. Send them to Libya. Drop them off and forget them. Send them to Singapore. See how long you last killing on the streets of Singapore. Singapore will hang you. So the reason we have the problems that we have in America and in the big cities is because the people haven't decided to say enough is enough and take things in your own hands. Now, taking things in your own hand is going to send me over to Chris Donor. Every one of you, if you can be honest, you know you had jobs where there were individuals on these jobs who went to your boss, lied on you, tried to get you fired, just got on your last nerves. And every one of you, if you're going to be honest with yourself, know the devil whispered in your ear and told you, take this person out. And some people have done it. I mean, how many times have you seen where people have met with the union, met with this person and that person, and all of a sudden the guy opens fire on the meeting? How many times have you seen, remember, maybe you young people don't remember, we used to have a saying called going postal, because we used to have so many workplace killings in the post office. Remember that man who the people were waiting to get their pay, I think, from the military, and he opened fire and killed, I don't know how many people he killed. You can go look it up. He was an Arab man who was in our military. He was a captain, and I think he was a psychiatrist. He's alive. They didn't kill him. They took him, and he's in a wheelchair. He can't walk. And he's complaining about he wants to grow his beard. I'm going to tell you, you kill that many of my people, you would be growing your beard minus from your head. But that's just how I roll. Very nice lady, but if I had the power, I'm not going to sit here and wring my hands and say, oh, what do I do? How do I handle these young punks on the street? You handle them with power. Power only respects power. You could have these guys so scared to even poke their heads out the door, Mr. President, if you wanted to. You could make it so hot on the street that they would be crying to their mama. Mama, no, I don't want to go outside. They gonna get me. The military's out there. They're in plain clothes. You won't be so quick to be shooting our children trying to make it to school or sitting in a park. Chris, you people, they probably haven't told you this. Chris Donner's father is a white man. Chris is biracial. They want Chris dead because Chris was smart enough to make that manifesto that told all the wrong that was happening in the LAPD. He also told that the LAPD had the problem of getting him dismissed from the Navy. I'm going to tell you the truth. Chris seems like a nice guy to me. But he was just a nice guy that just got sick of being called the N-word, all the racial jokes. And then he got sick and tired of seeing the LA Police Department doing all kind of rotten, terrible stuff, which right now they're proving how they are when they're shooting up people who aren't even shooting at them, thinking it's Chris. Chris, Grandma knows a lot of good ways, baby. I think you could have took out more with some special coffee and donuts. And I don't have to explain that. If you're too dumb to understand what I'm talking about, you're too dumb to be listening to Grandma. Coffee, special coffee and donuts will take out more people than just shooting them randomly. As far as the daughter's concerned of the man that he shot, personally, Grandma couldn't do that, but I'm going to be honest with you. When you mess with people's job and take their whole career, like in his manifesto, he said that they killed him a long time ago. Now, what I feel Chris is already dead, but he's just enjoying them bleeding the dollars looking for him. And they better be careful because there's a whole lot of gang leaders who have been abused and killed by the Los Angeles police and police from other countries. And they might take up the slack for Chris. They might help a brother out. So take it the way you want to take it. But I think the biggest gang and the biggest terrorists are the LAPD. And LAPD, I'm not talking about all of you. There was a good one called Chris Donner who tried to tell you guys what you're doing is wrong. And what did you do? You called him all kind of nasty names, and you took his livelihood away from him. The man whose daughter and future son-in-law was killed, remember Jennifer Hudson and her mother and nephew, 7 years old, and her brother was killed, and the guy's in jail now? Well, some people, when you harm their parents or harm their career, they are going to go after your family. They are going to go after your family. They're going to go after your family. You need to think before you start messing with people. And every one of you all who got some kind of position, you're some kind of boss, you're some kind of captain, you're some kind of lieutenant, be careful. Look at this guy who was America's sniper. He went on the field trying to teach some mentally retarded guy how to shoot, and this guy took them both out. So I don't want to stay any longer than this, but I just want to tell you that's Grandma's thoughts.